Okay, so I decided to use the Tarot of Trees for today because it's our Sagittarius full moon, and Sag rules big nature, big animals, big nature, as well as intuition, believing in yourself, and all those good things. But we have that Sagittarius full moon coming in today, Saturday, of course, June 3rd. At 8:43 p.m. So it's not until later tonight, but we've got quite the buildup coming. So anyway, if you want to listen to more of that, go to the weekly astrology reading that I have uploaded, and the timestamps are there, so you can get more of that information. But using the cards, what is it that we most need to know for this day? How can we best use the energy of the full moon? Cards are kind of thick, a little tricky to shuffle, but I'm getting them there. Okay, we have the Four of Swords reversed. Yeah, it's going to be kind of intense, I think, when the Four of Swords comes through reversed. Now, we can always turn it around with our intention and make the best use of it. But upright, it would be rest, recuperation. Reversed, it's not feeling so restful and maybe a little stressed out. Yeah, and we also have the Eight of Swords. So the swords is our suit that rules the mind, thoughts, all of that. With the Eight of Swords, that's my card for our own little self-created prisons. So if we create it, we can get out of it, right? We can take those swords and just cut that sash away and say, okay. But then again, maybe if you're doing some forest bathing for the day, maybe you decided you didn't want to rest, you didn't want to stay down with the Four of Swords reversed, and you want to go out and do some forest bathing. Maybe you're going to tie a ribbon around a tree and say, hey, I was here. Something like that. And then we have the Hanged Man. In this deck, she's called it the inverted tree, which is so interesting the way she's drawn this. And it comes straight up. So it's a card of surrender. The Hanged Man is the beautiful, or the inverted tree in this deck, is the beautiful, card, one of the major arcanas, the major, which are all evolutionary gateways. So it's this major evolutionary gateway that allows us to look at things from a different perspective. So if you do go for a walk in the forest, definitely lay under a tree, take your blankets. Maybe that's what the, the sash is here about in the Eight of Swords. Maybe that's about bringing a blanket and laying down at the base of a tree and looking up. It's just such a beautiful thing to do. And forest bathing, I'm here to tell you, it definitely works. Going walk, for a long walk in the forest and laying down and looking at the trees, it really does work. But the Hanged Man card has to do with wisdom. It has to do with, like I said, just looking at things from that other angle. When it comes through straight up, it's our card for letting go. And if you're feeling stuck or stagnant, then it's probably because you're overthinking things, okay? That would be the major thing I would say there. And the full moons tend to bring up whatever we need to let go of. So wherever that 13 degrees of Sag falls in your natal birth chart, that would be the area of life that you're working to let go of something or bring something into fruition, and it can be both. Often when we let go of something, we get out of duality. We get out of the either ors, and we open to the and, which definitely brings in the Hanged Man energy. So when we do that, when we release, I release our, with duality, working with duality, there's releasing this either or attitude, but there's also accepting that we live on a plane of duality where there's light and dark and good and bad and, we can feel that we're right or we're wrong, but we can be right and still be loved, or we can be wrong and still be loved. Right, you know what I mean? We don't have to put ourselves in these challenging places that our minds want to bring us. So I really feel like the Four of Swords, be careful about, being on a bed of swords there. You notice how the swords are going up. Instead, we can turn it around and we can really get some rest. And it's a Saturday, right? So if you can schedule the day off, go for it. But if you can also get out and get into nature, you will just be so happy you did, I think. With all that Sagittarian energy and the other fire energy that's coming in, we do have some breakthroughs. There's more power that can come through our bodies than ever before, but we do have to release those mental constraints, especially with that Eight of Swords, right? Because the Eight of Swords is, it's not necessary. It's self-imposed. It can be feeling some anxiety, but maybe the anxiety is coming up because there's a fear that you're working with and you need to face, and so facing it will shift it. But then again, if you've had, or you're working through PTSD, or what is PTSD? Let's don't add an extra letter in there. If you're working through any PTSD, it does take time, but it does help to get into nature and do some deep breathing and letting go. Now, with the air signs, with the Four of Swords and the Eight of Swords, 4 and 8 are both of swords, are of the air element. So, breath and relaxing and letting go. That's on the table for this full moon, is what I'm getting here. So, other than that, I think I'm going to close this reading up and send you big hugs as always, and feel free to let me know how you're doing. Okay, bye.